freshman year, it was the beginning of our bittersweet four-year journey into high school. Before, we were the kings and queens of middle school. We were the biggest and the oldest, and nobody could touch us. Everything changed walking through those glass doors in 2009. We were suddenly back to being the smallest and the youngest. We were nervous coming in. We weren't sure what to expect or how to act. But as quoted by Eleanor Roosevelt, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I have lived through this horror, and I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. After the first week of adjusting, making new friends, and figuring out what classes you want to stay in, all that was left was to finish out the year, making memories, getting good grades, joining sports and clubs. Freshman year was not only the beginning to some changes for people, but the beginning to some lifelong friendships and relationships. We were given the chance to become someone new, to socialize more, and to be more distinct than we were in middle school. We matured, grew socially and academically, and began our journey towards becoming young adults with our minds wondering, what do I want to become in life?
This year we walked the halls as top dogs, leaders of the wolf pack, top of the food chain. But I can remember like it was just last week that we were fresh meat. Then at last, sophomore year hit and we were no longer the babies. We walked into school on the first day of sophomore year with so much confidence on our shoulders simply because we finally had someone to look down on who looked right back up at us. Sophomore year was the year we truly started to grow. We grew more independent each day as we learned to drive, got part-time jobs, and began looking into what we wanted to do with our futures. Sophomore year was the year we started to develop into the kinds of people we wanted to be. We lost strong friendships from previous years, only to gain new ones to last us up to this day and hopefully forever. As we walk out of those doors at the end of this bittersweet ceremony, everything is going to change. Our lives will never be as they were before. The people we have spent the past 12 years with will be scattered all over the country. Today marks the end of the beginning, and in all honesty, that's really scary. But we must always remember that when bad things come, they come out of nowhere, suddenly, without any warning. But we forget sometimes that that's how the good things come too.
Junior year. For most of us, the most difficult year of our high school careers. From the title of upperclassmen to the hardest courses, to the SAT, the ACT, college searching, and the one thing that almost dealt the most of us our death blow. The Greatest Generation Project. A year filled with so many memories, the good and the bad, yet we persevered through them all. We found our true potential and truly began to prepare ourselves for what was in store senior year. We must overcome being regular for the chance to become extraordinary, which will lead you not to the mediocre, but to the greatest. And at the end of the second semester, we came, we saw, at times we conquered, and at times we limped away, but we always learned.
We came back from summer knowing we had an eventful year ahead of us. Excited about being seniors and finally being the top of Warhill's food chain. We knew it was our last year of high school and wanted to get to the finish line, but many obstacles stood between us and our ultimate goal of graduation. After conquering the dreaded SAT, most of us applied for college, filling out application after application after application, hoping we get to the school of our dreams. Some of us got our number one choice, while some of us were happy to simply get into college. Other students mapped out an alternative plan to pursue their own lifelong goals. Many seniors thought that the struggle was over and that the rest of the year would be easy. These seniors have already fallen victim to what is called senioritis. We fought back senioritis, keeping our eyes on the end of the year prize, exam exemptions. The true sign of the end of the year was senior week, having fun with our classmates and friends, looking forward to graduation. We think of all of our high school memories and bonds we've made with our close friends. Memories and bonds that got us where we are now and that will carry us further in life when faced with challenges and adversities. My parents always tell me graduation is a wonderful and significant accomplishment to be celebrated. However, this is not the end. This is just the foundation in which we begin the rest of our lives in pursuit of our dreams. When we step on this stage, we are hit with the reality that we are moving on to the next step in our lives. And as we grab our diplomas, the same phrase repeats in our heads. From the wise words of Kelly Watkins, we made it.
The past is a ghost, the future a dream, and all we ever have is now. You know who said that? Bill Cosby. We are no longer seniors in high school. That is in the past, a ghost in our existence. Our high school experience has come and gone, and all we do have is now. What this means is that we hold in our hands the responsibility to fulfill our dreams, to mold our future. This moment, graduation, is the fork in the road for many of us. It is where each of our paths diverge into different directions. Those of us heading to college, to the mountains that encompass JMU, Virginia Tech, Radford, UVA-Wise, and others. To the urban jungle that surround VCU, ODU, GMU, Hampton University, and others. There are some who intend to go out of state, and even farther. Mary? Some of us are staying in town, going to William & Mary and Thomas Nelson. Some of us are going straight into the workforce, acquiring careers and entering trade schools. Some of us have decided to serve our country, joining the military. No matter where we go, we must also remember where we come from, of course. Because though we will venture on to new places and see new faces, it is the old places and the old faces that will always remember you.